welcome back to Simply Tutor Classes. Today we will cover a new topic from Unit 1, that is the presentation of data. As we collect and classify the data, we have to present that data in a very simplified manner so as to understand and analyze data in a more simplified form. So before covering the presentation of data, we should understand why we have requirement of presentation of data. We have to present data in order to understand our collected and raw data in a more simple form so that we can use our statistical formulas on that data and we can find out the result from that data. Right now, what are the ways to present the data? There are three ways to present the data. One is tabulation, one is diagrammatic representation of data, and one is graphical form of presentation of data. If we talk about the tabulation of data, what do you mean by tabulation of data? Tabulation, data, to put data in the form of table. Tabulation is a systematic and logical representation of numeric data in rows and columns to facilitate comparison and statistical analysis. Right? What we have to do, we have to put our collected data in the form of table. Why we have requirement of table help us in comparison and bring related information which will help us in statistical analysis and interpretation. Clear? Simply in one line, if I want to explain the tabulation, then tabulation is presenting the data in the form of table. Now, what are the objectives of tabulation? Why we have requirement of the tabulation? Tabulation helps to simplify complex data. Tables helps in reading that complex data in a more simplified form. To bring out essential features of data from data, when we classify the data in the form of tables, we can easily predict. Suppose we have to predict chronological information, we have years and we have the data, then we can read easily what are the meaning of that data, what that figures are saying to us. Next, to facilitate comparison, if we have to compare the data with similar other table or with anything else, we can easily make comparison with that. To facilitate statistical analysis, if the data is presented in the form of table in present of us, then we can easily apply statistical tool on that data and we can interpret the result in one figure. Next, to save space, if we have to save space, we have to simplify the data, then no better option in front of us than to tabulate the data. Next, sometime in exams we have been asked for the parts of a table or general rules for the construction of table. What are the rules, what are the terms and conditions that are to be used while making tables? Then first is a table number. We have to write the table number before we making the table. As suppose in a project work we have 10 tables, then we have to number that table, right? In first table we have to write table number 1, then table number 2, then table number 3 up to table number 10. Then the title of the table, we have to simply write the title of the table. Why we have to write the title of the table? Title of the table indicate us what is the table all about, what when the table is being made, why it is made. In fact, the purpose of the table in a very simple form is written in the title of the table. Next is the head note. Sometimes the title doesn't contain the whole information about a table. Then the head note help us to understand what the table is actually about. Stub is the title of the we can say title of the row. We have rows and columns in the table, then the title of the title of the row is stub, and the caption, the title of the column is caption. In exams, in 2 mark question, the things comes what is the stub and what is the caption, then you simply have to tell that title of the row is stub and the title of the column is caption. Then body or fill, the data that actually you filled in that information when it's on the table or title, that is the body of the table. Footnote, any other information that you put under the table, that comes under footnote, right? So this is a brief information about a table. In next class we will cover about the diagrammatic representation of data as well as graphical representation of data. If you have any problem in this lecture, then you can ask me anytime in WhatsApp group or in comment box by putting your query in comment box. Thank you so much for the class.